Hello again. So today our plan is to saw few of these logs here with my sawmill, punk sawmill. This is my Logosol, Swedish made Logosol sawmill. And in a previous video we did make needed preparations for sawmill. Now it's ready for sawing. We can start putting first log on here on the saw table and start sawing. I will show you which preparations we need to do for that, and let's go step by step until we can start actually sawing. So first thing to do is to put here this kind of blocker. This is made of steel. Logosol sawmill has this kind of blockers for stop and support the log here in the table. I think that now we don't have very big logs, so there is two sides of these stoppers or supports. This is for this longer one is for bigger logs, and this shorter one is for smaller logs. This time we will use this smaller one because our logs here are not so big this time. So first let's put these supports in here to stop log from going wrong side of the saw table when we lift it up. Okay, now we have these log supports installed. This is very important to put first, because if you forget to put this and you bring a log here, it can rotate and go behind the sawmill. And for example, in this place, because here is this kind of building, it's very hard to lift it back on the table because log is very heavy. And in a Logosol sawmill we have this kind of clamps which we use to fasten the log when it's here. You can put it here like this. Log is fastened like this, with this, and many times this is very good. This is very nice to use. Only problem is in sometimes in winter time, if the log is very frozen and there is ice on the surface of log, this can be slippery and it maybe won't hold so well. But basically in normal use this is very good. I like this very much. But now when we are preparing to put log on the table, we will take these off and put them here under the sawmill. Okay, next thing to do is I have this kind of original Logosol log ramps, and we will install them, and we will roll the log on the table by hand after that. But let's install the ramps first. So now we have these log ramps installed, and I have this kind of big steel bars under the logs, and I can roll log here on top of the sawmill table here, by hand. I don't have any kind of crane in a tractor or anything like that. I only use my muscle power to put a log in the table. So let's start putting first log in the sawmill table. In this phase, it's a very good idea to lift this blade more high, so that we won't harm, by accident we won't harm this blade with the log which we are putting here. So let's rotate from this handle and let's lift the blade higher like this. So now it's safe from the log. We won't harm it when we put a log in the table. This log should go that way, because these logs are quite long. These are 6 meter long logs, and this sawmill maximum capacity is 6.2 meters. So we must put it as far as possible in that, as close the blade as possible. So I will lift this end first. We can in that method we can move it at the same time in that direction. When we put it like this, it's not straight. These Logosol log ramps are just good because they have this kind of stoppers here. They hold the log in, it won't rotate back. Okay, now we have log on the table. This is small one, this is easy to put, but it's also possible to put big logs by hand. It's not a problem. We can put all these, even they are heavy, by hand force. It's not a problem. And if we have very big log, 60 centimeters from diameter, for example, we can use a rope and what's that in English? It's a rope hoist, and pull it with rope. It's also possible. So now we have first log on the table, but now we must, it's too much here in this direction. We must move it that way. Tästä tänne. Joo, eipä se paljon se enempää. Katsotaan, että joudutaanko me lyhentämään. Ei varmaan, että mä varmaan mahtuisi. Tuohan sahat. Okay, now we have this log in right position, because this is a maximum length for this saw. I always try to make all logs as long as possible, as long as it's possible to saw with this sawmill, so I can get as long lumber as possible, because it's always easier to make it shorter than make it longer, in my opinion. I will still check that this is it's not too far. Okay, it's okay. We can sew it here. Now, so let's take these ramps away now. In this point. Okay, now we have a lock in the table, and I did adjust this lock support behind the lock as low as it's possible. And now we can use this lock clamp to fasten the lock. This is eccentric, as you can see. This is Logosol model, and I think this is very nice. This is fast to put like this, chop, and it's hold the lock very well. So now we have a first lock here. Let's move the saw on top of the lock so we can measure the center point of the lock from this end. Jotta me saamme mitattua täältä. So now we did move this saw head on top of the log, and now we will measure midpoint of this log. Here we have the midpoint. We will measure how high this midpoint of the log is from up layer of sawmill table. This is very important measurement. We will measure that next. So now we take next tool in use. This is a tool for measurement. This plate is exactly same height with this sawmill table from these rails. So we can measure from any point distance from sawmill table to middle of the log. Here we can measure it. It's about 12 centimeters. So now we know how far away middle of this log in this end of log is from sawmill table. So now we know the distance from sawmill table to middle point of this log. And when we are sawing with this kind of band sawmill, we want that this distance from middle of log is same in this end of log and that end of log. So now we will go in the other end and measure there how much it's there. In this end of log it's only about 10.5 centimeters. Now we need to lift this end of the log about 1.5 centimeters. First I will adjust this support lower because this is quite thin. I did put, it was originally in this position. I will put it in here so it's not too high. So, to lift up this end of the log, we can use this kind of device here. This is hydraulic device. This is used for lifting the log, adjusting it. So we just pump here. Here we have a hydraulic pump. And we will lift it up like this. And let's measure. How is it? Is it now close to 12 centimeters? Yes, now it's about same than in the other end of the log. And now we can lock it here. Just let's put the lock clamp on like this. And lock. Now lock is straight when compared to sawmill table, and we can start sawing. But let's do it in next video because I don't want this video to be too long. So let's continue in next video. Thank you for your company in this video and see you again. Bye bye.